In the previous lecture, we have actually discussed the solution of Bessel equation. In first lecture, we have discussed that the solution of Bessel equation are actually Bessel function of first kind, which was denoted by Jn of x and j minus n of x. Actually, those two independent solutions were obtained when the n is not equal to 0 and n is not equal to an integer. And after that, in second lecture, we have seen that when n is not 0 but n is an integer, then what is actually the solution of Bessel equation? You have seen that in that condition there is only one independent solution, that is Jn of x and j minus n of x was not independent from one another. In fact, in that condition we have seen the other solutions are also obtained, and those other solutions are actually known as Neumann function or Bessel function of second kind. Now, the subject matter of our today's lecture is actually the solution of Bessel equation for n equal to 0. And you can also say that we are now going to get the integration of Bessel equation in series for n equal to 0. So first of all, we will write the general form of Bessel equation, and then we will take n equal to 0, and after that we will solve it in series by the usual method. So see here, Bessel equation in general form is what? You know, this is x squared d2y by dx square plus x dy dx plus x square minus n square y equal to 0. This is actually the general form of Bessel equation. Now, as I have told you, our today's lecture is concerned for the solution of this Bessel equation when n is equal to 0. So, let us put the value of n equal to 0 in this general equation. If you will put n equal to 0, you can see easily the equation is transformed into this form. This is x squared d2y by dx square plus x dy dx plus x square y equal to 0. And if we take this x square as a common factor, then you can see the equation will be simply x squared d2y by dx square plus 1 over x dy dx plus y equal to 0. And so this equation will be simply d2y dx square plus 1 over x dy dx plus y equal to 0. So this is the Bessel equation when we have taken n equal to 0. Actually, since n has been taken 0, so this differential equation is known as differential equation of 0th order, or you can say this is Bessel equation of 0th order. And now our aim is to find the series solution of this Bessel equation of 0th order. So you know the series solution of this equation we can write in the form of a series of ascending power of x, and so you can write its solution as y equal to x to the power m a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and so on. And in compact form, you equivalently write this solution as y equal to summation over k from 0 to infinity ak x to the power m plus k. As usual, we have seen this type of solution earlier so many times. So now what we will do, you know, first of all, we will find the derivatives dy dx and d2y dx square, and then we will substitute the values of y dy dx and d2y dx square in this Bessel equation of 0th order. So see here, as y is equal to summation over k 0 to infinity ak x to the power m plus k as defined in this equation 2. So if you will simply differentiate this equation 2 with respect to x, what will be your result? You can see this will be dy dx equal to summation k from 0 to infinity m plus k ak x to the power m plus k minus 1. And if again we will differentiate this dy dx with respect to x, then we will get d2y dx square, that is the second order derivative of y, and that will be summation over k from 0 to infinity m plus k minus 1 ak x to the power m plus k minus 2. Now let us substitute all these values of y, dy dx and d2y dx square in this equation 1. You have seen this equation 1 here. So let us put it. So you can see in the first term there is d2y dx square. So instead of that we will substitute this value summation over k from 0 to infinity m plus k into m plus k minus 1 ak x to the power m plus k minus 2. And in second term, you know the second term is what? That is 1 over x dy dx. So here you can see I have written 1 over x, and at the place of dy dx you can put summation over k from 0 to infinity m plus k ak x to the power m plus k minus 1. And in the last term you can see there is only y, and so instead of y we will put this much, and that equal to 0. Now let us simplify the LHS of this equation to some extent. You can see here that when actually we will divide this second term by x, then there will be x to the power m plus k minus 2, and in first term there is also x to the power m plus k minus 2. So you can see this ak into x to the power m plus k minus 2 can be taken as a common factor when we will actually combine the first term of this equation and the second term of this equation. So after combining the first and second term of this equation, we will get this result. You can see here this will be summation k from 0 to infinity m plus k into m plus k minus 1 plus m plus k ak x to the power m plus k minus 2. And last term is at it, you can see here. Now you can see when we will multiply this m plus k with this m plus k, there will be m plus k whole square, and when you will multiply this m plus k with minus 1, that will be simply minus m plus k. So you can see this simplification here. This is simply m plus k whole square minus m plus k and plus m plus k ak x to the power m plus k minus 2. Now you can see this m plus k is here minus and here it is plus, so they will cancel out, and so our result will be m plus k whole square ak x to the power m plus k minus 2 and plus the last term which is written here at it. So this is the form of the equation which we have obtained. Now you know, to get the series solution, first of all we want to write the initial equation, and if you have written the series solution in terms of the ascending power of x, then to get the initial equation actually we equate to 0 the coefficient of lowest power of x. And what will be the lowest power of x? You can see actually when we will put k equal to 0, then x will have lowest power, and you can see when we put k equal to 0, then in first term there will be x to the power m minus 2, and in the second term you can see there will be x to the power m. So you can compare the lowest power on x is m minus 2, and that is contained in the first term, so there is no need to see the second term, because we will equate to 0 the coefficient of this x to the power minus 2. So you can see here. So equating to 0, the coefficient of lowest power of x, that is x to the power m minus 2, by putting the lowest value of k, and the lowest value of k is what? That is simply 0. And you can see the first term. When we will put k equal to 0, here will be a0, and in m plus k will become only m because k is 0, and x will contain the power m minus 2. So the coefficient of x to the power m minus 2 is present in the first term, and that is simply m square into a naught. You can see. So we will equate that coefficient to 0 to get the initial equation. So m square into a naught is equal to 0. And as you can see here, this equation implies that m square will be equal to 0. Why? Because you know a naught is an arbitrary constant, so it is not necessary that it will be 0. So we can say that a naught is not equal to 0. And if a naught is not 0, then this equation will be satisfied only when we take m square equal to 0. And if m square is 0, you know me will be equal to 0. So this initial equation has one and only one root, and that root is m equal to 0. Now, to find the value of the coefficient a1, now we will equate to 0 the coefficient of the next lowest power on x. And what will be the next lowest power? For getting the next lowest power on x, we will put k equal to 1, because after k equal to 0, k will be equal to 1. And so you can see, when you will put in the first term k equal to 1, then in first term the x will contain the power x to the power m plus 1 minus 2, and so that will be in fact x to the power m minus 1. And in the second term, you can see, when we will take k equal to 1, then x will have power m plus 1, x to the power m plus 1. So you can see that the second lowest power on x will be m minus 1, and it will be found when we will put actually k equal to 1, and that is contained only in the first term. So you can see what will be the coefficient of this x to the power m minus 1. So you can say, equating to 0 the coefficient of x to the power m minus 1 by putting k equal to 1. We get what we will get. You can see in the first term, when we will actually put k equal to 1, here will be m plus 1 whole square, and this ak will be a1. So the coefficient of x to the power m minus 1 is what? That is simply m plus 1 whole square times a1, and that will be equal to 0. So you can see here that m we have already obtained m is equal to, in fact, 0. So if you will put the value of m here, this will be 0 plus 1 whole square into a1, and that equal to 0. And so you can see that a1 is equal to 0. So this coefficient a1, you can see, has been found to be 0. Now, to get the other coefficients, we write the recursion formula, or you can say the recurrence relation. And you know, to write the recurrence relation, actually we equate to 0 the coefficient of general term. And here general term will be actually the term which will contain x to the power m plus k, m plus k. So, to get the recurrence relation, we equate to 0 the coefficient of the general term, that is x to the power m plus k, in equation what? In equation 3. What you will get after this? You can see in equation 3, in the first term, x contains the power m plus k minus 2. But now we have to equate to 0 to the coefficient of x to the power m plus k. So, if you replace this k by k plus 2, then in first term there will be x to the power m plus k only. So definitely in first term we will replace the k by k plus 2, so that the first term also contains x to the power m plus k. And so in the second term, this x to the power m plus k is already present. So you can see what we will do. We will simply replace k by k plus 2 in the first term. So you can see in the first term the coefficient of x to the power m plus k will be what? Since there is m plus k, so now k will become k plus 2. So this is m plus k plus 2 whole square. And ak, but now k will be written as k plus 2. And you can see in the last term already x to the power m plus k is present, so its coefficient is simply ak. So this will be a plus ak, and that is equal to 0. So simplify it. You can see that this m plus k plus 2 whole square, a k plus 2 is equal to minus ak. And you know this m is actually equal to 0. So this will be simply 0 plus k plus 2 whole square times a k plus 2, and that equal to minus ak. And so you can see a k plus 2 will be equal to what? This is simply minus ak over k plus 2 whole square. So this is actually our recurrence formula or recurrence relation, you can see. So after getting this recurrence formula, now we will actually find the other coefficients. So first of all, see, when you will put k equal to 1, then what will be from this recurrence formula you will get? See here, this will be a1 plus 2, that is a3, and that will be equal to minus a1 over 1 plus 2 whole square. But you have seen just now that a1 is equal to 0. You can see here a1 is 0. So since a1 is 0, so this result will be 0. So you can see a3 is found to be 0. Now let us put k equal to 3. If you will put k equal to 3, this ak plus 2 will be what? This will be a3 plus 2, that is a5. And in RHS you will write k equal to 3, so this will be a3 over 3 plus 2 whole square. But you have just seen that a3 is equal to 0, so this will be also 0. So what actually we get? You can see all the coefficients with odd in subscript are actually 0. So you can say in general that if we take k equal to 1, 3, 5, 7 and so on, then we find that a3 equal to a5 equal to a7 and equal to so on, and all these will be 0. And you also know that a1 is already 0. So all these coefficients are actually 0. Now from this recurrence formula defined in equation 4, we will find actually the other coefficients by taking the values of k equal to 0, 2, 4, 6 and so on. That is the even values of k. So putting k equal to 0, 2, 4 and so on in equation. In which equation? See here, in equation 4. In equation 4 we get, you can see, when you will take k equal to 0, see this equation, here will be a0 plus 2, that is a2. So this will be simply a0 plus 2 and that will be a2. And in RHS you know here is ak, but we have taken k equal to 0, so this will be a0 and divided by, you know here is k plus 2 whole square and k is 0, so this is 0 plus 2 square, and so this will be simply minus a0 by 2 square. So this is the coefficient a2. Now let us put k equal to 2 in that equation 4. So you can see this will be a2 plus 2, that is a4, and that a4 will be what? Here is ak, but we have taken k equal to 2, so this will be a2 and divided by k plus 2 whole square. K is 2, so this is simply 2 plus 2 whole square. So this is minus a2 over 4 square. But you have obtained already the value of a2 here, So if we will put the value of a2 in this equation, you can see we will get this minus and this minus will become plus, and our result will be a naught over 2 square into 4 square. And similarly, if we put k equal to 4, then here will be a4 plus 2, that is a6, and that will be equal to minus ak, but k is 4, so this is a4 over k plus 2 whole square, k is 4 now, so this is 4 plus 2 whole square, and so this is minus a4 over 6 square. But you can see we have already obtained the value of a4, and this is a naught over this much, so this will be now minus a naught over 2 square into 4 square into 6 square. So you can see in this way we can find all the coefficients containing the even index, that is a8, a10 and so on, we can find. But there is no need to find more than this number of indices. So now after getting these values, we will substitute the values of these coefficients in the solution of Bessel equation which we have assumed here in the beginning. You can see we have assumed that the series solution of this zeroth order Bessel equation is this much, which is defined in this equation 2, or you can say in this equation. So now let us substitute the values of all the coefficients here. For your convenience, I am repeating that solution, and then I will put the values of the coefficients. So from equation 2, you can see I am just repeating that equation. Our equation 2 is what? This is x to the power m times a naught plus a1x plus a2x square plus a3x cube plus a4x4 and plus so on. You can see. Now you have seen that m is equal to 0, so this will be simply x to the power 0 and a naught, and you have seen that a1 is 0, so this is in fact 0, and plus a2. You can see here we have obtained the value of a2, and that a2 is minus a naught by 2 square, so this will be minus a naught over 2 square times x square. And again you can see a3 is 0, so this term will be 0. And now see the value of a4. What is a4? You can see here a4 is equal to a naught over 2 square times 4 square. So this is a naught over 2 square into 4 square into x to the power 4 and minus now so on. You can write it. So you can see this x to the power 0 will be 1, and all the terms inside this square bracket contains a naught, so you can take this a naught as a common factor, and your result will be then what? This will be 1 minus 1 over 2 square, 1 over 2 square into x square plus 1 over 2 square into 4 square into x to the power 4, and minus so on. Actually, this is the solution of Bessel equation of zeroth order. This is the solution. Now, you know that this A naught is an arbitrary constant. So, we can take any value of this A naught. In fact, when we take a convenient value of A naught which is actually equal to 1, then this solution of Bessel equation is known as a Bessel function of zeroth order. So, if we take A naught equal to 1, then the solution defined in equation A is denoted by J0 of x, and so what will be this J0 of x? You can see here. We will simply take A naught equal to 1, and so this J naught of x will be what? This will be 1 minus 1 over 2 square into x square plus 1 over 2 square into 4 square x to the power 4 minus so on. Actually, this function J naught of x, which is actually the solution of Bessel equation of zeroth order, that is when we take n equal to 0, this J naught of x is actually known as Bessel function of zeroth order. So this J naught of x is known as Bessel function of zeroth order. You can easily see that if we take x equal to 0, then what will be the Bessel function of zeroth order? You can easily see. In fact, J naught of 0 then will be simply equal to 1. You can see this, since x is 0, so all the higher order terms will vanish, only 1 will remain here, because all the higher order term will contain x, and x is 0, so all those will be 0. So J naught of 0 is equal to 1. You should remember it. So this is the solution of Bessel equation when n equal to 0, and you can see that in this condition there is only one solution, and that solution is called Bessel function of zeroth order. So after these 3 lectures, we have seen all the situations in which Bessel equations are solved. In first lecture, we have seen that when n is neither 0 nor an integer, then there was actually 2 solutions, Jn of x and j minus n of x, which were called Bessel function of first kind. And when n is an integer, then you have seen there is only one independent solution, that was Jn of x, and to get the other solutions, we have obtained the other solution in the form of Newman function, which is called Bessel function of second kind. Now, in case when n is equal to 0, that is the Bessel equation is of zeroth order. In fact, in that condition, you again get only one solution, and that solution is J0 of x, and that is called Bessel function of zeroth order. So I hope you have understand all these concepts after these 3 lectures.